basically gynecologist, obstetrician, lab surgeon and fertility specialist. I have 12 years plus of experience, and in that 12 years of journey, I have been lucky to manage lot of different type of cases and help people through different sort of problems. I just, so there were a lot of, and I'm very much thankful to all the people who have filled the feedback form. I'm not able to cover all the topics, but I have selected few, and I will be sharing whatever seems relevant to me. Later on, we will have a Q&A session. In that, whosoever have any questions, they are most welcome to ask. Okay. So I've divided this talk in 4 domains. One is the menses part, everything related to menses. Then the fertility part, that is the main thing I want to discuss. Then the perimenopausal part, and then the preventive gynae part. Okay. So first we'll talk of menses, the most important topic. PMS, PMS or PMDD. So PMS means premenstrual syndrome. It's gone. Premenstrual syndrome, and PMDD is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So as the name suggests, something happens before menses that the person is not able to function normally, and it affects her quality, day-to-day quality of life. So what happens actually? Typically start 7 to 10 days before the periods. As soon as your periods start, you absolutely feel normal, wonderful. 1 week you are symptom free, as if nothing happened. And again, as you enter in the luteal phase. What is luteal phase? Once you get your periods, that is day 1 of the periods. On day 14, generally we ovulate. After ovulation, the time period which comes till you get your menses again is the luteal phase. That is generally fixed. That is 2 weeks. So whatever locha happens in that luteal phase is called as PMS. In PMS, there are 2 types of symptoms that we experience. One is behavioral symptoms or psychological symptoms. The other is somatic symptoms or physical symptoms. Some people experience both. Some people experience more of behavioral than somatic, or more of somatic than behavioral. What happens here? In behavioral symptoms, generally anxiety, feeling low, feeling fatigued, having increased appetite, or having craving for certain kind of food, having low self-esteem, feeling very touchy. Physical symptoms are generally bloating, breast pain or mastalgia, generalized body pain, headache, etc. Now, how to determine whether you have PMS or not? Because more or less all of us have experienced these kind of symptoms in our cycle. 80% of people experience such. How to make a diagnosis? There is something called as symptom charting. There is a technical name for it, DRSP. Daily recording of the severity of symptom. So it's a proper form. You fill it at least for the 2 cycles during your luteal phase, that is those 2 weeks time period. Then you take that chart, take it to the gynecologist, discuss the symptoms. If they meet the criteria, then you have PMS. If they don't meet the criteria, you have something else which is mimicking PMS, like asthma, migraine, epilepsy, some psychiatric disorder. Sadly, it can also resemble PMS, or any other issue like diabetes, hypertension. इसका भी एक फैंसी नाम है वेरिएंट PMS. It looks like PMS but it is not PMS. ठीक है. अब क्या करेंगे हम? गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट जो है वो 4 तरीके से इसको ट्रीट करती हैं. स्टेप इंग्लिश ओके. स्टेप नंबर 1, eat healthy, stop smoking, don't drink alcohol, exercise, have high fiber diet, have less thein, less caffeine, etc. etc. If that is not working out, then we give OC pills. We try OC pills. If it works, it's fine. If it doesn't, we try SSRI. SSRI is again an anti-anxiety medication. There is low dose SSRI, high dose SSRI, there is cyclical SSRI, non-cyclical continuous SSRI. All these are fancy terms. The main thing is low dose में anxiety कम करने का एक medicine दे सकते हैं. It is absolutely safe. You can take it for 1 to 3 months. No issues at all. वो भी नहीं काम करता. Then we give estrogen patches and progesterone tablet. ये भी एक तरीके का OC pills का बड़ा भाई है. Estrogen tablet, progesterone pills we try for 2 to 3 months. Generally it works. Generally first line and second line works. वो भी नहीं काम करता और बहुत ज़्यादा day-to-day quality of life is hampering, the husband knows best. So उस केस में we try injections. Injections का काम होता है पूरी तरह ओवरी को शट डाउन कर देना. If ओवरी का शट डाउन करने का पर्पज है, PMS में the main cause is ovaries release two types of hormones. Basically ovary release lot of hormone. I'm focusing on two types of hormone. One is estrogen and the other is progesterone. The cause of PMS, it is said that it is because of hypersensitivity to progesterone. Some people are not able to digest progesterone properly, तो उनके दिमाग में थोड़े से effects आते हैं which results in PMS. It's a hypothesis, not proven. So what it does is it completely shut down the manufacturing of progesterone by ovaries in our body. Generally people respond very well who have genuine PMS. If that also doesn't help, then the last resort is surgery, निकाल दो बाहर. But generally PMS का treatment for surgery is not done unless there is some other issue with the person, then only we resort to extreme measure surgery. Next slide please. Okay, next slide please. Yeah. Next topic is menstrual cramp or painful period. इसका भी एक फैंसी नाम है डिस्मेनोरिया. Dysmenorrhea is of two type or menstrual cramp is of two type. One is you genuinely have menstrual cramp. There is some problem in the uterus, certain chemicals are produced which cause pain, which cause fatigue, irritability, not feeling like going to work, etc., etc. That is primary dysmenorrhea. When there is no other problem associated, only the pain during your periods because of certain chemicals in the uterus is the main cause. That is primary dysmenorrhea. Second is secondary dysmenorrhea. Secondary मतलब कुछ और है, कुछ और problem है. It could be fibroid, it could be endometriosis, it could be adenomyosis, it could be PID, it could be this, that. Now, how to determine who has what? Generally, people who have primary dysmenorrhea has a family history of same. That is their mothers, their elder sisters, their grandmoms, they have the same problem. Or since they start their periods, that is called as menarche, they always experience that pain. Okay? So, if that kind of thing is there with you, it is primary dysmenorrhea. What is the safer thing to do? Always consult a gynecologist. I think you're sleepy. Always consult a gynecologist and get a scan done. The first line of treatment is, the first line of management is always get an ultrasound. In ultrasound, if nothing comes up, then most likely it is primary dysmenorrhea. If anything comes up, like cyst, fibroid, adenomyosis, etc., etc., then most likely it is secondary dysmenorrhea. If you have primary dysmenorrhea, what can be done? Same. Stop smoking, no alcohol, etc., etc., exercise, healthy life, weight loss and all. If you have secondary dysmenorrhea, which is more important, then that treatment should be taken as soon as possible. Next slide please. If you have fibroid, then fibroid removal through various methods. There are medicines and surgeries. If you have endometriosis, then endometriosis, again there are grades. What grade you have, then treatment of that, again medicine plus surgery or either of it. If you have PID, then we have medicine, beautiful medicines for treating PID. PID is pelvic inflammatory disease, a sort of pelvic infection. If you have copper T, some people can have copper T. Because of copper T, they can have pain during periods. Then if it is manageable, it's fine, because sometime in 2 to 3 months, copper T sets itself and pain reduces. If it doesn't, then copper T should be removed. Like that, depending upon the pathology, the treatment should be directed.
And if the treatment happens, then will this issue reoccur?
So if the pathology is not there, it shouldn't. But then again, depends upon the pathology. If somebody has fibroid has a recurrence rate of 30 to 50%. So we don't know. Okay. I have a very interesting story. Sita, she came yesterday in the clinic. She's from Jharkhand. She said that, madam, मेरे को pain हो रहा है. मैंने कहा, okay, when was your last period? My last period was 3 weeks back. Okay, periods में pain होता है? मैम बहुत pain होता है. अभी क्या हो रहा है? अभी भी बहुत pain हो रहा है. मैंने कहा अच्छा. तो पहले भी बिना, जब period बंद हो जाते थे तब भी pain होता था? नहीं, तब नहीं होता था. अभी बिना period के भी pain हो रहा है. मैंने कहा अच्छा. ओके फाइन, एक अल्ट्रासाउंड करा लो. गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट का एक ही काम होता है, अल्ट्रासाउंड लिख दो पहले. अल्ट्रासाउंड में इट केम आउट टू बी एक्टोपिक प्रेगनेंसी. सो देयर वाज अ प्रेगनेंसी विच इज़ नॉट इन द यूट्रस बट इन वन ऑफ द ट्यूब्स, फेलोपियन ट्यूब्स. ठीक है, एडमिट हो जाओ. अभी फटी नहीं है, अगर फट गई तो फिर तो ब्लीडिंग हो जाएगी पेट में, यू कैन कोलैप्स. शी गॉट एडमिटेड. टुडे मॉर्निंग वी ऑपरेटेड हर. It was not even in the fallopian tube. It was at the junction of uterus and fallopian tube, which is called as Cornwall pregnancy, जिसका incidence 0.1% होता है. Anyway, we operated. She's doing fine, all good. Liquid started now. तो यहाँ पे key point ये है. She said, I am so much used to pain. Since I got my first period, I was always having pain. My mother also had the same pain. अभी मुझे ये लग रहा है कि मेरे पीरियड नहीं हो रहे हैं 3 हफ्ते से, फिर भी मुझे यहाँ पे राइट साइड में पेन हो रहा है. दैट प्रेगनेंसी, कॉर्नवॉल प्रेगनेंसी वाज ऑन द राइट साइड. थैंकफुली शी केम. अदरवाइज व्हाट पीपल डू इज दे कीप ऑन टॉलरेटिंग. उन्हें लगता है यही नॉर्मल है. सो व्हाट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट इज
So in case of ectopic or chronic pregnancy, the HCG and the
yeah, so she did not, it was 3 weeks back, no, she did not do pregnancy test. So then I got her. Otherwise, so beta HCG and pregnancy test, these are the 2 methods where you can detect pregnancy. Pregnancy test, be it beta HCG or urinary pregnancy test, generally start rising after 3 weeks of your last period date. How we know? We come to know when we skip our periods. So it was 3 weeks time.
because endometrial would not be impacted in this case. So would it still lead to regular periods or there would not be?
No, so whenever we surgically remove ectopic pregnancy, we always clean the lining. What happens is, even if you are pregnant, there will be high level of HCG, high level of estrogen. The lining will thicken up. So we, yes, with ectopic too. If you in a pregnancy, if somebody has an ectopic pregnancy, can you check the endometrial lining? It will always be more than 10 mm. Right? So most important thing is that she came. She said that something is not right. And then the scan was done and the treatment was ensued. Had she didn't come, what would have happened? It might have ruptured. And it would have led to, I don't want to say further. Next slide, please. Next is PCOS and obesity. First of all, PCOS, PCOD, PCOS, all are same. S for syndrome, D for disease. It is same. Okay. Second is, it is a pandemic now. In India, we are more prone to develop all sort of chronic illnesses. Maybe because of genes, I don't know. Somebody is yawning. Sorry. Then, nowadays, every 5th Indian woman is suffering from some or other form of PCOS. What happens in PCOS? Our ovaries, the people who have PCOS, their ovaries are slightly larger than normal size. And there are small, small follicles. Follicles are basically those fluid-filled cystic spaces which will release egg later on. In PCOS, what happens is so many follicles are formed together. The ultrasound criteria earlier was 12 follicles per ovary. Now it is 20 follicles per ovary. Some people, though Americans, say more than 25 follicles per ovary. Generally, we have 7-8 follicles per ovary. So that much increment in the size of the follicles, in the number of the follicles, lead to the increase in the size of the ovary. So we gave a fancy term called as PCOS. Why? Because there are certain other symptoms which are associated with PCOS, like irregular periods, or features of hyperandrogenism. Again a fancy term. It means that there is more male hormones in the body and the lady is developing facial hairs, acne, darkening of the skin like back in the neck, lower part of the breast, armpit, inner part of the thighs, etc. Loss of hairs, weight gain, more tendency to develop diabetes, cholesterol, hypertension, heart problems, etc. etc. So this accumulation of so many problems, we name it polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, there are basically 3 criteria. No, the thing is, if you get a scan done, suppose कोई जाता है साल में एक बार अपना स्कैन कराता है और वो डॉक्टर ने स्कैन किया बोल दिया कि अरे आपको PCOS है, shit, PCOS है. So सिर्फ अल्ट्रासाउंड में PCOS का आना is not PCOS. There are 3 criteria, Rotterdam criteria, you can Google also. Out of 3, 2 criteria should be met, at least 2 criteria, then only you have PCOS. Ultrasound में cyst दिखना is not PCOS. Cysts are normal for the ovary because वो तो बेचारी ओव्यूलेट करेंगी ना अभी 1 हफ्ते के बाद या 10 दिन के बाद, तो वो तो बेचारी cyst बनाएंगे, इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना कि PCOS है. So this is one thing. Now what happens? What are the criteria? वही irregular periods, hyperandrogenism मतलब मेल हार्मोन ज़्यादा है जिसकी वजह से ये सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं. The third is ultrasound. So there are 4 types of PCOS. One is people have all the 3 features. Irregular periods, ultrasound में भी आ गया, and hyperandrogenism है. दूसरा टाइप है, this is type A, classical PCOS. Type B, first 2 हैं. इरेगुलर पीरियड्स और हाइपर एंड्रोजनिज्म. टाइप सी हाइपर एंड्रोजनिज्म और अल्ट्रासाउंड में आ गया. टाइप डी आपको इरेगुलर पीरियड्स है और आपने स्कैन कराया तो उसमें PCOS आ गया. दिस इज द मोस्ट कॉमन टाइप दैट वी सी. अब क्या होता है PCOS हो जाता है तो. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. या सबसे पहले तो डायबिटीज़ का रिस्क है. पीपल हु हैव PCOS एंड हु हैव certain risk factors like who are diabetes, who have family history of diabetes, who are obese. What is the definition of obesity? Okay. BMI greater than? Very good. Awesome. Your name, ma'am? Oh, nice. Yes, absolutely right. BMI greater than 30 is obesity. What is BMI?
Body mass index.
How we calculate it?
Weight divided by height in meters.
Awesome, awesome, very good, very nice, Kashish. So when we divide our weight by height in meters square, whatever value we get is BMI. In Indian women, BMI should not be more than 23. For other people, it is 25. I don't know. हमें PCOS भी की भी टेंडेंसी ज़्यादा है और हमारे लिए BMI का थ्रेशोल्ड भी कम रखा है. आप समझ रहे हो कितनी नाइंसाफ़ी है. अब BMI, अगर किसी का BMI more than 30 means you are obese, means you have more tendency to develop diabetes if you have PCOS. ठीक है. अब क्या करें हम? What we can do is, क्या करें? डायबिटीज़ की स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट कराएंगे. What is it? Every 6 months get your blood sugars and HbA1c tested, and every 6 months get your cholesterol tested. If not 6 months, at least once a year. So अगर आपकी बॉडी में कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ा है, हिंदी is okay, no? If your body has high cholesterol and high sugar levels, it is an indirect sign that you have something called as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is the real villain. It is the main mechanism जिसकी वजह से PCOS इतना सारा havoc करता है. What is insulin resistance? Insulin से resistance है.
Doesn't happen.
Yes. Half
Even
answer.
if you have insulin, the insulin will not absorb glucose molecules, and that is why sugar in the blood will
Spike. Very good. Nice. Absolutely. तो हमने चीनी खाई, हमने जाके कोक पिया, केक खाया, हमारे ब्लड लेवल में शुगर स्पाइक किया, पेनक्रियाज ने इंसुलिन रिलीज किया, बट वो इंसुलिन जाके रिसेप्टर पे काम ही नहीं कर पा रहा है. लिटरली दरवाजे बंद है. इट कांट एंटर एंड कॉज इट्स अफेक्ट. अब क्या होगा, बॉडी में सस्टेन शुगर बढ़ा हुआ है और उसके सारे चेंजेस बॉडी में आना स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे, विच इज टिपिकली हैपेंस इन डायबिटिक पीपल. अब ये PCOS में इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस क्यों होता है? आई कांट टेल नाउ. बहुत बड़ी थ्योरी है. इस वजह से पीपल टेंड टू बिकम ओवरवेट, दे विल हैव हाइपरटेंशन, दे विल हैव डायबिटीज एंड दे विल हैव हाई रिस्क ऑफ हार्ट डिजीजेस, कार्डियक डिजीजेस. एग्जैक्टली. एक और प्रॉब्लम होती है PCOS में जो बहुत ही खतरनाक है, वो है इरेगुलर पीरियड्स. अब होता क्या है, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. दिस इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी. Actually, it's a true thing. Around 3 years back, one lady came, 19-year-old Nandini or Nandita. So she was 110 kg, BMI 40. When she came to me, she was not having periods for 1 year. And सब कुछ तो पूरी हिस्ट्री उसकी मम्मा ही दे रही थी, वो तो चुप बैठी थी कोने में. तो शी सेड कि 1 साल से पीरियड नहीं आ रहा है, वेट लूज़ नहीं हो रहा, बेचारी बहुत कोशिश करती है, लिटरली डिप्रेशन में जा चुकी है, खाना आना भी बंद कर दिया इसने, बट वेट लूज़ नहीं हो रहा, पीरियड नहीं आ रहा है. तो पीरियड नहीं आ रहा वॉज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर देम, इम्पॉर्टेंट वॉज वेट लूज़ नहीं हो रहा. अब यहाँ पे समझो इस बात को, इफ़ यू आर नॉट हैविंग पीरियड्स फॉर मोर देन 2 months, इट इज़ नॉट गुड फॉर द हेल्थ ऑफ द यूट्रस. देर आर 3 parts ऑफ यूट्रस. वन इज इनर लाइनिंग कॉल्ड एज एंडोमेट्रियम, फिर होती है मसल की खूब मोटी सी लेयर, दैट इज मायोमेट्रियम, एंड द आउटर कवरिंग कॉल्ड एज सेरोसा. तो जो इनर एंडोमेट्रियम लाइनिंग होती है वही हर महीने ब्लीड करती है. अब इमेजिन यू आर नॉट ब्लीडिंग ओनली, व्हाट विल हैपन? तो टिपिकल हिस्ट्री दे रही है, शी डजंट गेट पीरियड फॉर 3 months, एंड व्हेन शी ब्लीड्स फॉर 15 days. So this is typically happened in PCOS. Now its problem is not just bleeding for 15 days. Problem is if you will not bleed, then the inner lining of the endometrium will become unhealthy. और उसका भी एक नाम है endometrial hypoplasia, which is said to be precursor for uterine cancer. तो मैंने तो ये बोला उसको तो कैंसर हो सकता है बच्चेदानी का. Then she's like what? अब बोलना पड़ा मुझे. तो then she said okay we'll take the medicine. Then we put her on पहले तो प्रोजेस्टेरॉन टैबलेट दिया कि भाई पीरियड आए, फिर उसको कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव पिल्स पे डाला, टिपिकल जो ट्रीटमेंट होता है। तो इसमें ये होता है पीपल से कि हम तो दवाई खाते हैं, हमें पीरियड आ जाता है, फिर हम बंद कर देते हैं, फिर पीरियड नहीं आता। तो थ्योरी थी उसकी मम्मा की, नंदिनी की मम्मा की, वो दवाई ना वो एडिक्शन कर देती है, वो बॉडी में जमा हो जाती है, उसके बहुत साइड इफेक्ट होते हैं। तो हम यूनानी, सिद्ध, आयुर्वेदिक, होम्योपैथी सब ट्राई कर लेंगे और आएगा सर, थोड़ा टाइम लगता है। ऑल दिस इज़ नॉट करेक्ट। सो यू आर डूइंग मोर हार्म देन गुड. You should bleed at least once in 3 months. You should have at least 9 periods in 1 year. If you're having less than 9 cycles in 1 year and if you're not bleeding once in 3 months, मतलब endometrium lining unhealthy हो सकती है, which is a precursor for uterine cancer. तो फिर क्या हुआ, उसको पीरियड आना स्टार्ट हुए. She got motivated. She felt that like I'm a normal girl who's having monthly periods. जब उसको पीरियड आना स्टार्ट हुए तो थोड़ी वो खुश हुई. शी स्टार्टेड वर्किंग आउट प्रॉपरली एंड इट बिकम अ पॉजिटिव फीडबैक साइकिल. आफ्टर 1 year of follow when she came, she has reduced 8 kg in 1 year, which is not bad, and she was doing fine. So the important takeaway here is, if you're not having periods, if you're not interested in taking OC pills कि हर दिन एक गोली खाओ, you take 5 days progesterone tablet, take the withdrawal bleeding and go on with your life. It's okay, it's fine. But 3 महीने में एटलीस्ट एक बार पीरियड आना है. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. इनफर्टिलिटी, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. ओके, तो इनफर्टिलिटी में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक जो मुझे डिस्कस करना है दैट इज एग फ्रीजिंग और एम्ब्रियो फ्रीजिंग. बट एक ब्रीफ आई कैन टेल. सो इनफर्टिलिटी में बेसिकली इफ यू वांट टू कंसीव, देयर आर 3 things we need. When you go to the gynecologist, they ask you 3 things. Ovulation हो रहा है कि नहीं, अंडा बन रहा है कि नहीं, that we are able to see on ultrasound. Tubes open है कि नहीं, means fallopian tubes are patent or not, that we see on HSG. It is another type of X-ray. And third is husband के semen analysis ठीक है कि नहीं. So husband का role is not actually 50, it is 40 to 60% depending upon the case scenario. And the role of the woman is anywhere from 50 to 60%. Okay. So if these 3 things are sorted and you are trying naturally, what is trying naturally? Without contraception. Okay. And having regular sexual intercourse. What is that? What is regular sexual intercourse? Sorry? Okay, that is fertility period. That is good practice. Okay, regular sexual intercourse means एक हफ्ते में कम से कम 3 बार. Okay, it's not that it's not that practical these days, but regular sexual intercourse by definition, if you have to define somebody, a couple as infertile, then the definition says the couple should be married for 2 years. or yeah, married hai ya nahi, doesn't matter. They should have regular sexual intercourse for 2 years. If they are and having all these 3 factors sorted, then the chances of getting pregnant is 80%. यहाँ मैं एज फैक्टर नहीं काउंट कर रही हूँ कि वाइफ 40 ईयर्स की, हस्बैंड 45 का है. नॉर्मल एज ग्रुप 25 साल, 28 साल, 30 साल. ओके, इफ द कपल इज नॉट एबल टू कंसीव, then we do the investigation. If all the investigation, these 3 investigation are sorted, then we label it as unexplained infertility. हमें नहीं पता. ठीक है. So unexplained infertility again is not that common. It is seen in 10 to 15% of the people. But then again, we have to consider कि वो regular sexual intercourse कर रहे थे and all. So when couple come, they start with हमारी शादी को 6 साल हो गए और वी आर ट्राइंग, वी आर नॉट एबल टू कंसीव. कब से ट्राई कर रहे हो? 6 मंथ से. इसके पहले हम अलग अलग रहते थे, तो कहाँ से कंसीव करोगे? So what are the good practice point you can start with depending upon the age. एज की बात मैं बाद में करूँगी. I'll talk about it in egg freezing. Depending upon the age, what happens is, if you are trying to conceive, you can start with tracking your fertility period, like the madam said. Fertility period क्या होता है? ठीक, ovulation के टाइम पे कितना? What is the duration?
3 to 5 days.
No. 1 week.
1 week after the period, or
Very close.
yeah,
14 to day 20, is it?
1 week after the 1 or 10 days after the periods it starts, and next period cycle के around 4-5 days पहले तक.
वो तो बड़ा लंबा हो गया.
After the follicular phase
of 1 to 7 days. Next is ovulation phase, which is 3 days.
सॉर्ट ऑफ अप्रॉक्सीमेट आंसर. सो अगर किसी की 28 डेज की साइकिल है तो डे 8 से डे 18. अगर किसी की ऊपर नीचे है तो उसका फॉर्मूला है, वो आप आना तो आई एक्सप्लेन इट कि ठीक है आपका तो होता है शॉर्ट साइकिल, लॉन्ग साइकिल, फिर उसके बेस पे वी कैलकुलेट द फर्टिलिटी पीरियड. बट ऑन एन एवरेज 10 डेज का वी टेक द टाइम, क्योंकि भाई बॉडी है. कभी कभी डे, कभी कभी तो ऐसा भी होता है कि आपको पीरियड्स हो रहे हैं डे 6 पे, सपोज यू आर स्टिल ब्लीडिंग, सपोज समबडी इज हैविंग अप टिल 7 डेज पीरियड अगर हो रहा है तो वो नॉर्मल है. अगेन अनदर पॉइंट. एंड अप टिल डे 2 इफ यू आर ब्लीडिंग अगेन इट इज़ अ नॉर्मल पीरियड. अगर आपको इस महीने 2 दिन पीरियड हुआ, अगले महीने 6 दिन हुआ, ये भी नॉर्मल है. कम ब्लीडिंग प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ज़्यादा ब्लीडिंग प्रॉब्लम है. ठीक है. अब क्या बता रही थी मैं? हाँ, सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपका 28 डेज का साइकिल है, डे 8 से डे 18 जो 10 डेज का टाइम है उसका एवरेज, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग अ आइडियल एग्जांपल, दैट इज कंसिडर फर्टिलिटी पीरियड. उस फर्टिलिटी पीरियड में एटलीस्ट अल्टरनेट डे इफ यू आर ट्राइंग देन इट इज गुड, देन द चांसेस ऑफ कंसेप्शन आर गुड. व्हाट इज दैट? हाउ मच परसेंटेज? 7% in one cycle. If you are having regular intercourse in a fertility period at least, the chances of conceiving in 1 month is only 7%. ठीक है. But if you try it for 2 years, the chances of conceiving in that time period is 80%. That's what researchers say. Okay. अब ये सब काम नहीं किया, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ, and then you have to come to the doctor. Obviously healthy practices, timely intercourse, no smoking, no alcohol and all that, वो सब is good only. इसके बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेप आता है IUI. What is IUI? ठीक है, जल्दी से शॉर्ट में बता देती हूँ. IUI में कुछ नहीं, वी टेक द हस्बैंड सीमेन सैंपल, वी वॉश इट, वी टेक द गुड क्वालिटी स्पर्म्स. तो स्पर्म्स में भी कई तरीके के स्पर्म्स होते हैं. एक तो बहुत जल्दी जल्दी दे आर वेरी मोटाइल, द अदर इज स्लोली मूविंग, एंड द अदर इज नॉट मूविंग एट ऑल, एंड द रिमेनिंग आर डेड. So when you get a semen analysis done, they will tell you that इतने ये ऐसे स्पर्म इतने परसेंटेज हैं, ऐसे स्पर्म इतने परसेंटेज हैं, एंड देयर इज अ प्रॉपर क्राइटेरिया कि अगर इसके नीचे हैं देन दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम, लाइक लो मूविंग स्पर्म, एबनॉर्मल मॉर्फोलॉजी वाले स्पर्म एक्सेट्रा. सो इफ अगेन फॉर द IUI ऑल्सो देयर इज अ क्राइटेरिया कि इसके नीचे अगर स्पर्म semen analysis अच्छा नहीं है, means you should not get an IUI done. That is a separate thing. But IUI basically, you take the husband semen sample, you wash it, you fill it in a tube and you put it in the uterus. It is a non-invasive procedure. It is not painful at all. It takes hardly 10 minutes. और हम उस टाइम पे करते हैं जब उस ovulation के टाइम पे, मतलब on the day of ovulation or maybe 40 hours after inducing the ovulation, we do the IUI procedure. ठीक है. IUI का सक्सेस रेट कितना है? It is around 10 to 20%. It is never more than 20%. तो अगर आपने एक साइकिल IUI का कराया है, 80% चांस है निगेटिव आएगा, 20% चांस है पॉजिटिव आएगा. बट इट इज़ बेटर देन ट्राइंग नेचुरली. सो इट इज़ अराउंड, ट्राइंग नेचुरली मीन्स 7% से 20% ज़्यादा है, सो यू कैन ट्राई. IUI का 4 साइकिल्स तक आप ट्राई कर सकते हो, उसके बाद सक्सेस प्लेटी हो जाता है. नेक्स्ट इज IVF. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. IVF, हाँ ये तो IUI. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. नाउ IVF इज़ अ very expensive, not very expensive, it is an expensive procedure. Around 2 lakh it costs in a normal center, and the problem is there is lot of it's actually toll taking. The woman has to undergo daily injection for 2 weeks. उसके बाद egg pickup होता है. It's an invasive procedure. It is done under general anesthesia. So एक ultrasound probe है, उसके ऊपर needle लगी होती है, and it goes inside and it pick up all the eggs. Then same day we take husband's sperms, we fertilize those eggs with the sperm, then we make the embryo or test tube baby, and then we transfer it in the womb in a separate cycle called as embryo transfer cycle. The success rate, बहुत सारे centers claim करते हैं 80% है, 90% है. It's not like that. It depends a lot on the quality of the sperms and quality of the egg, which will determine the quality of the embryo. What is quality? Quality means genetic makeup, and there is no way to determine that. ठीक है. वॉट यू कैन सी इज यू कैन सी द पिक्चर ऑफ द एग. हाँ ठीक है, जैसे एक आदमी उसके हाथ पैर सही है तो ऐसे ही स्पर्म में हाँ ठीक है, इसकी हेड मिड पीस और टेल ठीक है तो मोरलेस ठीक होगा. बट दिस इज नॉट द राइट क्राइटेरिया. वी डोंट हैव एनी अदर थिंग टू डू, सो वी गो विद द मॉर्फोलॉजी कि वो देखने में कैसा है. सो अगर देखने में अच्छा है तो शायद जेनेटिकली भी अच्छा होगा, विच इज़ नॉट ऑलवेज द केस. सो सक्सेस ऑफ IVF वेरीज अ लॉट फ्रॉम कपल टू कपल, बट ऑन एन एवरेज प्रैक्टिकली स्पीकिंग इट इज़ अराउंड 40%. ओके, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. अब आते हैं मेन मुद्दा, एक फ्रीजिंग. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. मतलब जब प्रेस द बटन प्लीज अगेन प्रेस. हाँ दैट्स इट. एक सो इफ सपोज somebody is not ready for marriage or they are not ready for the baby, what is the solution? Solution, it's not actually a solution, it is a good way to save your eggs in the real time when their probable genetic makeup is better than the time when you will be conceiving. Somebody who is freezing their eggs at the age of 30-32 will have the success rate of IVF जो एक 32 year की lady में होता है, versus somebody who is trying to conceive at 40 or 38 years of age. So this is the advantage of egg freezing. Success rate अभी भी इसमें 40% से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, but at least you will be fighting time. So the studies which have been done, it was seen that our fertility potential start declining very rapidly after 35 completed years of age. What is fertility potential? Fertility potential is the capacity of ovaries to form eggs. So there is a blood test called AMH and there is an ultrasound which is done on the second day of the period, जिसमें we can get an idea कि ovary में fertility potential कितना है, मतलब अभी ovary में कितनी ताकत है अंडे बनाने की, ठीक है. 35 years के बाद decline is very rapid. Can you see? 35 से 40 तक पहुँचते लगभग. So, for example, somebody comes with an AMH. So, AMH is a blood test which I was talking about. Between 2 to 4, it is normal. So, suppose somebody comes at the age of 35 having AMH, for example, 1.2. If you get the AMH repeated at the age of 39, it might be 0.5. So, that is the decline. Male में क्या होता है? Men में it happens around 45 years of age. Okay? उनमें तो वैसे भी sperms are plenty in amount. तो जो भी उसमें significant changes हमें दिखते हैं, they are after 45 years of age. Egg freezing is done at the IVF center or the fertility center. Next slide, please. Here same, you will be given injection for 12 days. The cycle is around from 9 to 12 days. Again, the egg pickup is done. एक बार egg pickup करने के बाद, if you are married, you can go with embryo freezing. Embryo freezing is always better than egg freezing. Why? जो egg हैं, they are not that stable. So what we do, we take the eggs and we literally freeze it. Whenever we are planning for the pregnancy, we will thaw it or we will warm it. वो पिघला देंगे उसको. And then we will inject it with the husband's sperm. Then we will make the embryo. And then those embryo will be formed. And then we will transfer. तो extra steps बढ़ गए. And it's a very sensitive thing. So depending upon the quality of the lab where you are getting it done, मतलब जो the good labs, they have an egg to embryo formation rate of as much as 90 to 95%. Average lab has on an average 75 to 80%. So choose the lab wisely. So if you have, so as per Indian laws, पहले था कि आपका partner है तो भी चलेगा, you can make the embryos formed from egg and you can freeze it. Now as per the new ART bill, the couple should be married. Otherwise, if a lady is unmarried, they have only option of egg freezing. Okay, next slide please. Akansha. So what happened with this lady? When she came to me, her AMH was 0.6. So we started with IUI cycle. She was 35 years of age and husband was around 30, same age, 36, 35 years of age. We tried 2 cycles of IUI. It failed. Then when we repeated the AMH, 1 year passed. When we repeated the AMH, it was 0.2. So I asked her to go with donor eggs, which will have a 5x more chances of success than self eggs given the low AMH value. Donor eggs was tried, IVF was done, successful in first attempt on a thin endometrium, that's a different thing. But what happened is, so she was having normal ANC visit, everything was normal, all going good. But suddenly I got a call in the morning around 7 AM that the husband said that she's having a headache, her eyes are red and she's incessantly crying and her legs are swollen. So I said, you immediately go to the nearest hospital and get admitted. The condition is called as preeclampsia. Preeclampsia is sudden rise in BP with certain changes in the body, and in most of the cases we have to terminate the pregnancy to save the baby and the mother. So preterm cesarean was done. Baby, it was at 27 plus 5 weeks and the baby was very low birth weight baby, around 1 kg. But good NICU setup in these days are able to salvage 1 kg baby. Baby stayed in an ICU for 2 months. Certain complications happened to the baby, intestinal infection and all that, premature lungs and all that. But he waded through, he fighted that. And now they are doing good. Both baby boy and mother are fine. So important thing is here another thing to consider is if the reserve has already fallen by the time you reach for 35, 38 years of age and AMH is showing low, because some people can have a rapid decline in the fertility reserve than the normal people. Good option in terms of having viable pregnancy, but donor egg means other people's egg. Again, there is a proper screening selection criteria. There is a form which is to be filled by the couple कि हमें इस कलर की महिला चाहिए, इस religion की चाहिए, इतनी educated होनी चाहिए, all that. All those criteria met, and then the identity of the donor is not revealed to the commissioning couple. It is decided at the level of the IVF center and the doctor. So you have to keep faith. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Perimenopausal health. So menopause. What is menopause? Period stops. Anything else? So we can't conceive anymore. Okay, it's a permanent infertility. So menopause आ गया, ये कैसे पता चलता है? ठीक है, मैं आज 2 महीने पीरियड नहीं है, it could be PCOS, it could be some other problem, it could be stress. So we can diagnose menopause only if you don't get period for 1 year. So it is a retrospective diagnosis. Okay, generally menopause happens at the age of 51 years. There is a one number, 51. For Indian women, menopause happens at 51 years, but it depends a lot from person to person and also on the history of the person. कि मम्मी का menopause कब हुआ था, बड़ी बहन का menopause कब हुआ था. It depends a lot on that also. Now, before coming to menopause, the body makes the preparation for it, and it takes around 2 to 10 years time period for the same preparation, which is called as perimenopausal period or climacteric. Climax से पहले climacteric. ओके, सो इसमें कुछ कुछ चीज़ें होने लगती हैं हमारे साथ, पीएमएस जैसी, बहुत कुछ पीएमएस जैसा होता है, जैसे मूड स्विंग्स, और वो बोलेंगे हमें तो हमेशा ही होते हैं, स्लीप डिस्टर्बेंसेस, हॉट फ्लैशेस. हॉट फ्लैशेस पता है क्या होता है? ओके, हॉट फ्लैशेस में एकदम से गर्मी लगती है, हाँ, एकदम से पसीना आएगा और फिर एकदम से झाड़ा लगेगा. मतलब बेसिकली व्हेन योर ईस्ट्रोजन लेवल्स आर फॉलिंग, योर ईस्ट्रोजन डिटरमाइंस योर बॉडी टेम्परेचर, इनर बॉडी टेम्परेचर. अब ईस्ट्रोजन एकदम से फॉल कर रहा है तो बॉडी को समझ नहीं आ रहा हो क्या रहा है, तो कभी इसको जाड़ा लग रहा है, कभी ठंड लग रही है. सडनली इट हैपन्स एंड सडनली इट गोज अवे. इट्स अ वेरी अनकंफर्टेबल फीलिंग. वो बोलेंगे पंखा चला, बोलेंगे पंखा बंद कर दे, लाइक पागल है क्या? Literally. So at midnight, in the night time, if it happens, it might hamper your sleep also. So hot flushes, but generally it stays till 6 months to 2 years, but generally it goes away. Then depression, fatigue, low libido, weight gain, bloating, बार बार UTI हो जाता है, dryness रहती है vaginal parts में. So all that happens. What can be done? Again, healthy lifestyle, exercise, no tea, coffee, blah blah. And most importantly, what will the gynecologist do for you? So generally we give low dose of contraceptive pill. If there is vaginal dryness, we give estrogen के ointments to apply locally so that that area becomes supple. If there is recurrent UTI, we can treat the UTI, and we can also put you on low dose of SSRI. SSRI again वो anxiety कम करने का दवाई, which is safe.
Caffeine or tea or coffee impacts women's body, like uterus or overall body?
So
Or how much is the ideal quantity we
it's
can take
yeah.
for
So
a
generally
thing?
1 cup to 2 cup is sufficient. But then again, tea, coffee और smoking से एक अच्छा point ये है कि it prevents the formation of fibroid. But then again, why? Because fibroid कैसे होता है? मतलब मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ कि ये करना चाहिए ताकि फाइब्रॉइड नहीं होगा, ठीक है. सिर्फ ये कह रही हूँ कि जब आपकी यूट्रस में ब्लड सप्लाई बढ़ती है, देन वो फाइब्रॉइड बनाने लगता है. वहाँ की मसल्स में कुछ म्यूटेशन हुआ, छोटे छोटे मसल सेल्स होते हैं विच फॉर्म द एंटायर यूट्रस, दे स्टार्ट डिवाइडिंग वेरी रैपिडली और वो बड़ा सा फाइब्रॉइड बना देते हैं. एनीथिंग दैट रिड्यूसेस द ब्लड सप्लाई विल रिड्यूस द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ फाइब्रॉइड, विच इज स्मोकिंग, ठीक है. बट it should not be done because it has other side effects. Smoke alcohol or this tea, coffee, normal 1 to 2 cups in a day should suffice. Avoid का मतलब है कि quantity, if you can make it to green tea or something, a healthier option, that would be good. Next slide please. Next slide please. Breast cancer. So breast cancer में मतलब मुझे breast cancer नहीं बताना है, मुझे screening बतानी है यहाँ पे. The purpose of screening is, screening मतलब हम 2 पर्पस से स्क्रीनिंग कर रहे हैं. एक तो we can catch the disease early so that we can treat the disease when it is completely curable. And secondly, हम इस बीमारी से होने वाली डेथ्स को वी कैन प्रिवेंट, तो ओवरऑल मॉर्टैलिटी एंड मॉर्बिडिटी पॉपुलेशन का कम हो जाए. इसलिए स्क्रीनिंग किया जाता है. स्क्रीनिंग भी हर बीमारी का नहीं कर सकते, उन्हीं का कर सकते हैं जो थोड़ा इंडिकेशन देती हैं कि हम आ रहे हैं या आने वाले हैं, और थोड़ा टाइम पीरियड होता है हमारे पास बाय द टाइम एक्चुअल कैंसर डेवलप्स. As per recent guidelines, especially American guidelines, they say cancer screening can be started from 40 years of age. From 40 to 41 years हमारे पास 3 तरीके हैं स्क्रीन करने के, एक्सरे, अल्ट्रासाउंड और MRI. स्क्रीनिंग के लिए सस्ते टेस्ट यूज़ करते हैं, एक्सरे और अल्ट्रासाउंड. 40 से 49 ईयर्स तक यू कैन गेट मैमोग्राफी. एक्सरे का नाम है मैमोग्राफी, मेमोरी से मैमोग्राफी. सो from 40 to 49 years of age you can get mammography done once in every 2 years. After 49 मतलब 50 plus years पे you should get it done once every year. But then again it comes with a pinch of salt. What is that? मैमोग्राफी अगर आप कराते हो तो उसमें 2 प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, एक्चुअली 3 प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. प्रॉब्लम नंबर 1, इट मे गिव यू अ फॉल्स पॉजिटिव, इट कैन गिव यू अ फॉल्स नेगेटिव, एंड देयर इज अ रिस्क ऑफ एक्सरे एक्सपोजर. What is false positive? मैथ वाले लोग आप तो. Yes. What is false negative?
You have it, but it doesn't show you.
Exactly. What is the problem with false positive?
We become panic.
Exactly. Anxiety होती है, MRI करा लो, biopsy करा लो, डॉक्टर के चक्कर काटो. That is false positive. The rate is around 10 to 15% with mammography. What is the problem with false negative? अरे कैंसर ही छूट गया. लो, हमने तो कराई थी मैमोग्राफी, डॉक्टर साहब ये कैसे हो गया, कैसे डॉक्टर हो आप. सो दैट इज 20%. फॉल्स नेगेटिव इज 20%. सो इट्स नॉट दैट ईजी. नाउ व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट, व्हाट इज द सोल्यूशन, नॉट एक्जैक्टली सोल्यूशन, व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट लेवल ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन वी हैव, दैट इज MRI. MRI में इट इज़ वेरी सेंसिटिव एंड वेरी स्पेसिफिक, मीन्स ट्रू पॉजिटिव और ट्रू नेगेटिव बहुत हाई है MRI में, 70 to 80 to 90%. So if you get an MRI done and if it is not showing anything, you can more or less rely on that. Again, it is not 100%. तो उसमें भी MRI के बहुत सारे वर्जन आ गए, टोमोग्राफी एंड ऑल दैट, विच कैन एक्चुअली डिटेक्ट. पेट स्कैन इज देयर वन विच कैन एक्चुअली डिटेक्ट, बट इट इज़ नॉट डन इन एवरीवन. इट इज़ डन ओनली इन केसेस हु हैव अ फैमिली हिस्ट्री ऑफ ब्रेस्ट कैंसर, जिनके फर्स्ट डिग्री रिलेटिव, स्पेशली फर्स्ट डिग्री रिलेटिव मतलब मम्मी पापा भाई बहन, दे हैड अ ब्रेस्ट कैंसर हिस्ट्री, और देयर इज सम जेनेटिक सिंड्रोम रनिंग इन द फैमिली, और हमने मैमोग्राफी कराया, there is a BI-RAD criteria which is meeting the criteria of cancer. In that case we get the MRI done. Now the problem is when the people are young they have very firm breast. So firm breast में mammography doesn't give a very good result. Mammography gives very good result when the breasts are flaccid, the fibrous tissue is less. So for that there is an ultrasound. So for people who are younger, who are in the younger age group or who have naturally firm breasts, ultrasound plus mammography should be done. Another important thing, if somebody has a family history of breast cancer, suppose किसी की मम्मा को 35 years पे breast cancer detect हुआ, then the daughter should get the screening done 10 years earlier than the age at which the cancer was detected, that is 25 years. At that time her breast will be firm. So mammo plus ultrasound will give a better result. Breast cancer screening can be done up till 75 years of age. Everything goes normal, you can stop the screening after that. Then there are 2 things. Next slide please. Breast self examination and clinical breast examination. Clinical breast examination जब डॉक्टर जी करते हैं, सेल्फ ब्रेस्ट एग्जामिनेशन जब हम खुद करते हैं. What is the significance? तो ये बोला गया रिसर्चेस में, breast self examination and clinical examination does not cause any difference in the mortality caused by breast cancer. Then why we should do it? We should do it because we should know our body. If there is any change coming in the breast, if you press the nipple, if you pinch the nipple, if the color of the nipple fluid is not colorless or white, rather it is red, black, greenish or purplish, then this is something to be taken very seriously. Okay, so you should be knowing what is happening. So you can lie in a comfortable position or sit, following steps can be followed, and you can notice if there is any change in the contour, texture of the breast. The same is done by the doctor in a routine gynecological visit where the doctor can also clinch the diagnosis. If anything comes up, we can investigate and treat it. Next slide please. Cervical cancer, last topic. So what is cervix? सर्विक्स क्या है? Okay, cervix is the opening of the uterus. It sits on top of the vagina. So basically, बच्चेदानी का मुहाना in Hindi is cervix. So cervix में there are two types of cells. One is skin-like cells, which is called as squamous cells, and the other is mucus-secreting cells called as glandular cells. Now what happens is, every month we are having periods, we are having roller coaster ride of hormones. So cervix respond to those roller coaster ride of hormones. Cells keep on changing their face, changing their texture. They keep on moving in and out of their area. Then there is another thing called as human papilloma virus or HPV. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of it? Yes or no? Okay. So human papilloma virus is the main villain here. So human papilloma virus enters in our genital tract usually through intercourse when we start our first sexual activity, and you can't prevent it. You can't. There are hundreds and hundreds types of HPVs. There are 2 HPVs which are considered to be the cause of cancer. 90% of the cancers are caused by HPV 16 and 18. Now, एक तो हो गया सर्विक्स, एक हो गया HPV. ये दोनों आपस में बात करते हैं और सर्वाइकल कैंसर हो जाता है. ये स्टोरी. नाउ व्हाट कैन बी डन? हमारे पास 2 चीज़ें हैं. वन इज़ वैक्सीनेशन, अदर इज़ सर्वाइकल कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग. वैक्सीनेशन का पर्पस क्या होता है? वैक्सीनेशन इज यू आर preventing the disease to happen. This is primary prevention. What is screening? You are catching the disease early so that we can catch it at an early stage and treat it completely. So this is secondary prevention. What is better? Primary prevention is better than secondary prevention. So I'm going to tell you both of these. First, सबसे पहले screening. Before 21 years, there is no point of screening. Why? Because HPV virus, even if somebody is sexually active before 21 years of age, HPV virus do not cause that many problems, and whatever problem it causes, they cures itself. So that's the logic they have given, that before 21 years, don't get the screening process started. Screening should be started from 21 years of age. From 21 to 29, pap smear should be done. Pap smear is very simple OPD procedure, very simple. You can check it on net how it is done. Every 3 years, pap smear should be repeated from 21 to 29 years of age. From 30 years of age, 30 years and onwards, there are 3 options. One is HPV DNA testing. Every 5 years it should be done, or pap smear should be done every 3 years, or co-testing. Both can be done together every 5 years. Till what time it can be done? It can be done up till 65 years of age if previous 3 tests were normal. मतलब last 1 to 1.5 years में all were reports were normal, you can stop the HPV this screening procedure by 65 years of age. But there are people who are at high risk of developing cancer later on in life, like people who have family history, who are HIV positive, who have high risk behavior, who have multiple sexual partners, who have herpes simplex virus infection. Such people can continue screening 10 years down the line, extra 75 to 80 years. ये हो गया screening. Second is vaccination. Now vaccination में now there are 6 type of cervical cancers vaccine available in the market. India में there are 3 most common vaccines that are available is Cervarix, Gardasil and Nona vaccine. Cervarix acts against HPV 16 and 18. Gardasil acts against 6, 11, 16 and 18. 4 types of HPV viruses. And Nona vaccine में there are against 9 type of HPV viruses. I don't remember number, sorry. So in vaccines, these are given over a period of 0, 3, 6 months, given in 1 dose at a time, and same schedule can be followed for all the 3 types of vaccine. What time, at what age we should start cervical cancer vaccine? एक guess कर दो. Okay, very good. Any other guess?
As soon as possible.
But okay.
Like after that.
Okay. So generally accepted age of cervical cancer vaccine is 9 to 14 years. It can be taken up till 26 years of age. 9 to 14, 11 to 12 is a very good age. Up till 26 years of age, irrespective of your sexual activity. Malab, one can ask, no, okay, already HPV virus is there. Why am I getting vaccination done? So the idea is to prevent. But if vaccination is taken, screening process should be continued. Don't stop the screening process. Because
It can happen any age.
Yes, it can, no. Yes. Yeah. So vaccine आपकी immunity को boost करेगी, but screening से we will be able to catch. Again, it's a secondary prevention. We will be able to catch the disease early if it happens. Okay, from 27 to 45 years of age, HPV vaccine can still be taken even at 45 years of age in people who have HIV, herpes simplex, high risk behavior, family history. Vaccination is otherwise not needed. Up till 26 years is the final. Vaccine efficacy is around 90%. It is not 100%. So screening process should be continued. And screening may prevention efficacy is up till 80%. So I think one more thing, condoms or barrier method also prevent HPV, HIV, herpes simplex or other type of sexually transmitted infections. So it's a very good method to prevent cervical cancer, especially in people who have multiple sexual partners. I think I'm done. Thank you everyone. Next slide please. Next slide. Next slide. Acha, Sulekha, I'll tell one last story. So this lady, Sulekha, she was a Bengali. She came in the emergency around 11 AM in the OPD, heavily bleeding, big clots coming out, and ekdam pale, bilkul safed. When we got the hemoglobin done, it was 4. Normal hemoglobin is? 11. Anything more than 10 will work for me. So her hemoglobin was 4. And when I examined her locally, there was like, I couldn't see anything. It was that much blood. I tried taking pap smear, but I couldn't because of the blood, cells did not come on top of it. We got the ultrasound done. There was a huge uterus, big uterus, and it showed adenomyosis, another problem which causes pain and heavy bleeding. We got her admitted. She got admitted for 3 days. We transfused blood. We built up her hemoglobin, gave medication to reduce the bleeding. It did not help much, but yes, hemoglobin was improved because of blood transfusion, and we removed the uterus. When we removed the uterus, on the biopsy, it showed stage 3 ulcerative type of cancer. So depending upon the morphology, how it looks, there are various types of cancer. It was ulcer type. That's why she was bleeding and it was not stopping. And now she is under chemoradiotherapy. So that is the importance of screening. I'm not saying that, okay, vaccination kara leti hai, that's different. She's from a rural background. But yes, at least screening can be done. Next slide, please. Yes.
So I have one question.
Yes.
So in the breast cancer slide, it said that taking too much of contraceptives can cause breast
Yes,
cancer.
so there is a one type of breast cancer called as ER-PR positive. ER means estrogen receptor, PR means progesterone receptor. So we get to know it only when we get that particular test done. So in that sense it is said. So the best idea is if somebody has that type of breast cancer history in the family, then OCP should be avoided because they have basically estrogen and progesterone.
Okay. So that type of patients, for PCOD patients, they don't prescribe?
No, so we generally it's not that common. ER-PR positive cancer is generally not that common. So if somebody have healthy breast, there is no complaint, then one can safely give OC pills. But if there is a specific history, then yes, this point should be taken care of. Any other? Yeah.
Is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease also caused because of insulin?
Yes. So what is non-alcoholic fatty liver? Very good point. So basically what happens is if you have high amount of fat in the body, it start accumulating in the liver also. कि ठीक है अब तो जगह नहीं मिल रही, liver में भी घुसा दो. That is fatty liver. So if somebody is having fatty liver, if you will reduce weight, it will go away. Okay.
So when you talk about family history playing an important role in your chances of cancer, so is it like in the family history we should have the same type of cancer, any type of cancer?
So there are certain syndromes. So generally if you think that multiple lines, जैसे हमारे मम्मी पापा उनके पहले की generation के multiple generation में you are seeing certain type of cancer, then something called a family history, pedigree should be made. That is it some genetic mutation which is running in the family which is causing cancer. So generally ovarian cancer, breast cancer mein most common gene is BRCA1 and 2. You must have heard of it also. Angelina Jolie got her both the breast removed because her mother had a family history of cancer. She got the genetic testing, then it came out to be BRCA2 mutation or 1 mutation. So such people can get these type of surgeries done, preventive surgeries done to prevent. So pedigree, genetic mutation testing, proper history taking will help us to clinch that. So it could be colon cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, uterine cancer. There are certain other type of syndrome which are other type of cancer, like it's very detailed depending upon the cause.
One question. Any link can have fatty liver? What could be the reason for that?
Then most likely it is not body fat, then we have to search. So we get generally liver function test done. So if there is a fatty liver, is liver function is getting affected, which may help us to clinch the diagnosis further. Yes.
At many times you mentioned that the first whatever you prescribe is the healthy diet and healthy lifestyle. So I just wanted to understand more about it because it can be used as a preventive to many
Yes.
diseases.
So healthy lifestyle means basically it's an active lifestyle. So you are asking in which context? In general context or?
In general context for PCOS,
So for
PCOD,
PCOS,
thyroid.
that's what. So for PCOS, for thyroid, active lifestyle, especially for PCOS, active lifestyle is more important than reducing weight through crash diet. Very good point actually. Insulin resistance respond very well to your cardios. If you are walking every day, at least 5 times in a week for 30 to 45 minutes brisk walk, it will actually improve your insulin resistance remarkably. You have to be consistent. That's very good for insulin resistance. In general, वैसे weight loss, weight कम रहना चाहिए and all that is okay. But again, don't crash diet because you will gain weight again. So there are two types of weight loss regimes. One is you actually reduce weight by reducing your calorie intake and increasing your calorie output. And the other is to maintain yourself at that reduced state. That maintenance is very difficult. So, but yes, if you have to choose the active lifestyle, good habits, so that you don't have to use your head कि आज मुझे ये करना है, and then you are like, again I have to go to gym. It should be a habit. Easy said than done. Any other questions? Okay, I think so. ठीक है, thank you everyone. You were lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anjali, for doing this for us.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. I know we spoke about health and lifestyle, but there's donuts. So she already gave me the feedback, which I'm going to take it. But please help yourselves to that. And